Teachers, what's the smartest way a student has ever tried to cheat on a test? I've been teaching AP Chemistry for 11 years. I've seen it all. Formulas written on water bottles, equations hidden in calculator covers, answers coded into coughing patterns. But nothing prepared me for Theo. He was a junior, quiet, sat in the back corner, decent grades, never caused trouble. The kind of student who blends into the classroom furniture. For the first semester, I barely noticed him. Then came the midterm. I proctored like I always do, walking the aisles, watching for wandering eyes. Everything seemed normal. Students hunched over their tests, pencils scratching, occasional sighs of frustration. Theo worked steadily, never looked up, never glanced at anyone else's paper. He finished with 20 minutes to spare. I graded the tests that night. Theo got a perfect score. Every single question correct, including the bonus problem that stumps half my honors students. I was impressed. Maybe I'd underestimated him. The next test, same thing. Perfect score. He finished early, handed it in confidently. By the third test, something felt off. Nobody gets perfect scores on every test, not without studying obsessively. I checked his homework grades, barely passing. His quiz scores, mediocre at best. But these major exams, flawless. I started watching him more carefully during the fourth test. He never looked at notes, never glanced at his phone. His eyes stayed on his paper the entire time. His body language was relaxed, confident. He got another perfect score. After class, I pulled him aside. Theo, you're doing incredibly well on tests, I said. How are you studying? He smiled. Just reviewing my notes the night before. Something in his tone bothered me. Too casual, too smooth. I decided to set a trap. For the next test, I created two versions, version A and version B. Identical questions, but in different orders. I handed them out in a pattern, alternating rows. Theo got version B. During the test, I positioned myself where I could watch him without being obvious. He worked steadily, confidently, finished 15 minutes early, walked to my desk and handed me his test with that same easy smile. I graded his test first that night. Perfect score, again. But here's what made my blood run cold. His answers were in the exact order of version A, not version B. He'd written the answers to question 1 from version A in the space for question 1 on version B, which was actually asking something completely different. He'd memorized someone else's test. The next morning, I called him to my classroom before school. I know what you're doing, I said. His face didn't change. I don't know what you mean. I showed him his test, pointed out the mismatched answers. You memorized someone else's answers, but you memorized them in order without knowing the questions would be different. He stared at the paper. Then he started laughing. You want to know the really smart part? He said. It's not someone else's test. I was confused. It's my own test, he continued, from the future. Before I could respond, he pulled out his phone and showed me photos. Tests I hadn't written yet, with his name on them, dated next month, next semester, all showing perfect scores. My dad works in the main office, he explained. Has access to the server where you upload answer keys for your Scantrons. I've had every answer to every test since September. I just had to memorize them in order. My jaw dropped. But this test, I said, holding up version B. I never uploaded this version's answer key. He shrugged. Obviously. That's why I screwed up. Got sloppy, didn't realize you'd made two versions. You hacked into my files. Technically, my dad did. I just used the information. I reported it immediately. The school investigated. Theo's father was fired. Theo was expelled. The district implemented new security protocols for test materials. But what still keeps me up at night isn't that he cheated. It's how long it took me to catch him. 3 months. Perfect scores. And if I hadn't made two versions of that test, I might never have known. Theo's at private school now. According to his social media, he's still getting perfect grades. I wonder if they've figured him out yet.